Here's the English translation of your hook, keeping the tone and depth aligned with the original. In today's fast-paced and stressful world, we often find ourselves confused, exhausted, and sometimes lost, amid countless worries. Have you ever wondered, is there a path to truly understand yourself, to see clearly the true nature of life, and to find genuine peace? The wisdom of the awakened, Zen wisdom, is not something distant reserved for masters or monks on mountain peaks. It is a simple yet profound insight, open to anyone willing to pause, listen, and observe life with an honest heart. Within short, deep Zen stories, distilled from thousands of years of experience and reflection, we find illumination for the soul. Each story is like a mirror reflecting ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, and the attachments we have yet to face. These are not just ancient tales. Zen stories continue to live and breathe in modern life, in people struggling with stress, failure, or loss, and in those seeking meaning and peace in each moment. Zen wisdom teaches a powerful yet simple truth: to live fully in the present, to let go of attachments, to recognize impermanence, and to open the heart to love and compassion. When this wisdom awakens within us, our inner world transforms, and with it, the outer world shifts in harmony. Are you ready to embark on this journey? A journey where every short Zen story is a key unlocking the door to wisdom and freedom of the heart? In this script, we will explore short Zen stories as deep as the ocean. Stories that not only help you understand yourself better, but also inspire you to live more mindfully and peacefully each day. Take a moment to listen, to reflect, and to begin the path of becoming an awakened being in this vibrant life. That wisdom awaits you, right here, right now. The wisdom of the awakened. Short Zen stories as profound as the ocean. Part 1. General Introduction. The Journey of the Awakened Mind. 1.1. Introducing the topic and the meaning of Zen wisdom. Zen wisdom is not just an abstract concept or a distant monastic tradition. It is a living, rich treasure trove containing profound and practical values for anyone seeking true understanding of life and themselves. When we talk about Zen wisdom, we speak of awakening, a state of mind that is clear, pure, and unclouded by everyday illusions, attachments, or suffering. This wisdom has been distilled through thousands of years by Zen masters, individuals who have endured the ups and downs of life, yet remain peaceful, free, and deeply understanding. The meaning of Zen wisdom is like a spiritual awakening, a light that illuminates the true nature of all things, allowing us to perceive life from a completely different perspective, not as clinging to fleeting ambitions or fluctuating emotions, but as acceptance of impermanence, gentle letting go, and living fully in each present moment. In an increasingly complex and turbulent world, Zen wisdom serves as a precious compass, helping one maintain calmness and clarity amid all storms. Awakening in Zen does not mean knowing everything, but understanding oneself, recognizing inner limits and profound truths. This wisdom does not come from learning theories or external knowledge, but from direct experience and truly living every moment. That is why Zen stories are not just old tales or lofty philosophies, but simple, profound lessons that easily touch the heart and bring about real transformation. Beginning the journey to discover Zen wisdom, we realize this path is not only for professional practitioners, but for everyone, ordinary people of all ages and circumstances. Each Zen story softly yet powerfully reminds us that the wisdom of the awakened is the ability to recognize, accept, and love oneself and the world in the fullest, deepest way. In the script, we will explore short Zen stories as deep as the ocean, carefully selected and containing timeless wisdom beyond boundaries of time and space. Each story will be accompanied by explanations for easier understanding, linked with real-life examples and modern living, helping you apply Zen wisdom in your own life. At the end of each story, you will find personal transformation lessons, simple yet effective practices so you not only listen but experience and turn wisdom into real power in your life. One special aspect of Zen wisdom is that it does not try to directly change the external world, but focuses on internal transformation. The awakened do not seek control or manipulation, but learn to let go, to let things be. Though this sounds simple, it holds extraordinary power to heal emotional wounds and expand vision beyond the self's limits. The journey to become an awakened person through Zen wisdom is a journey back to oneself, an endless journey. As wisdom is a vast ocean that continually deepens with every experience and moment of awareness. We do not need to be perfect or reach some ideal state to approach this wisdom. All it takes is a sincere heart willing to learn, patience, and an attitude of acceptance toward oneself and life. For centuries, Zen stories have inspired countless generations, from secluded monks in deep forests to ordinary people in everyday life. Through these stories, wisdom is not only transmitted but invited directly into the listener's life to become part of their spiritual and personal development. For an international audience, Zen wisdom holds special appeal due to its universality and cultural transcendence. Values like awakening, letting go, mindfulness, and compassion are not exclusive to Buddhism, but are universal human values. When engaging with Zen stories, viewers do not just receive a part of Eastern culture, but are invited to embark on a journey of self-discovery and personal growth accessible to all. We will begin this journey by diving deeply into each theme, each aspect of Zen wisdom through short stories, each a precious gem, a resting point for reflection, understanding, and transformation. Within these stories, you will find empathy, awakening, and above all, new energy to live more fully and peacefully. The journey of awakened wisdom is not easy. It demands courage to face oneself, perseverance to overcome temptations and afflictions, and an open heart to embrace both the beauty and challenges of life. Yet within this journey lies true freedom. Freedom from mental bondage, freedom from self-created suffering, and freedom to live a meaningful, fulfilling life. As you continue to listen to the Zen stories in this script, allow the words to go beyond your ears and into your heart. Let Zen wisdom become your silent companion, guiding you through difficult moments and bright ones alike. This is the enduring strength of awakened wisdom. Now, as you open your mind and heart, let us step into the world of Zen stories, short yet profound tales not merely to hear, but to live, to understand, and to transform yourself day by day. This is your journey, my journey, and the journey of all who long to awaken amidst the colorful life around us. 1.2. Why do Zen stories still hold their value in the modern world? In a world increasingly advanced with remarkable progress in technology, science, and society, it may seem that humanity possesses all the tools and knowledge to solve every problem, from health and economy to communication and entertainment. Yet, alongside this progress, many people still feel a deep void in their souls, a vague unease, and a disconnection from themselves and the world around them. For religious contexts, Zen transcends all those boundaries to focus on the essence of human nature, the awakening of body and mind, the self, and existence itself. Each Zen story carries a profound, yet simple message that helps us recognize inner conflicts and invisible bindings we impose upon ourselves, while also opening a path to transcend them through awareness and letting go. These are lessons anyone, in any era, needs and can apply. Moreover, Zen is not merely about sitting quietly in meditation or abstract teachings. It is an art of living, an attitude of being fully present in every moment and accepting life's changes with equanimity. Where pressures from work, society, and relationships weigh heavily, learning to live mindfully, as Zen stories teach, becomes more necessary than ever. Another important factor is the simplicity and directness of Zen stories. They are not long sermons or complicated philosophies, but brief tales, often only a few sentences or paragraphs. Yet they contain a deep inner transformation. They are easy to access, remember, and pass down through generations. This simplicity becomes their strength, making Zen's lessons easy to apply in daily life, regardless of who you are, where you live, or what challenges you face. Zen stories also retain their value in the modern age because they encourage experimentation. They do not demand the listener to accept any dogma, but invite personal experience and verification through real life. Listeners are encouraged to question, contemplate, and discover their own truths. This approach fits perfectly with today's spirit, where people increasingly value freedom of thought and personal choice. Furthermore, Zen stories focus on inner transformation, the change from within rather than trying to control or change external circumstances. While the external world may change rapidly and chaotically, internal change is more sustainable and deeply affects how we face life. In a volatile modern world, the ability to master one's mind and maintain inner peace is invaluable, and Zen provides stories and lessons that develop this capacity. Zen stories are also vivid and emotionally engaging ways to convey wisdom, helping listeners not only understand but truly feel the essence of awakening. Many Zen tales evoke laughter, deep reflection, or even profound emotion, allowing the messages to seep naturally into one's consciousness. This method is far more effective than dry lectures and helps Zen wisdom spread widely and be easily embraced by diverse audiences. Additionally, in today's globalized and culturally interwoven context, Zen stories serve as bridges between cultures, helping people understand and appreciate universal human values that transcend geography, religion, or ethnicity. Zen's spirit of awakening, letting go, compassion, and mindfulness has become part of many people's lives worldwide, from bustling Western cities to remote Asian villages. Finally, the practical applicability of Zen stories in modern life ensures their lasting value. Anyone can use Zen's teachings to cope with stress, anxiety, conflicts in relationships, or difficulties at work. Zen stories are not merely ancient traditions, but guiding lights for the modern path, helping us rediscover ourselves and live a more meaningful life. When you engage with these stories, you are invited not just to listen, but to join a journey of experience, a deep and lasting inner transformation that anyone can begin right now. Because of all these reasons, in this script, you will find that each Zen story is not merely a tale for entertainment, but a precious lesson, a key opening the door to wisdom and freedom of the heart. And from here, the journey of the awakened mind begins. Not just a story told, but a life lived with greater mindfulness and profound meaning than ever before. Part 2. Impermanence. Embracing constant change. 2.1. Explaining the concept of impermanence in Zen. Impermanence is one of the most fundamental and important concepts in Zen philosophy, as well as in the entire Buddhist tradition. The term impermanence describes the reality that all things and phenomena in the universe are never static or eternal, but are always changing and evolving continuously over time and circumstances. In Sanskrit, impermanence is called anicca, which deeply means constant movement, nothing fixed, and nothing lasting forever. For those practicing Zen, decay of material things or social transformations, but is also clearly present in each present moment, in every breath, feeling, and thought. This constant change is the natural essence of life, and if we learn to accept it calmly, we can greatly reduce suffering and distress. In daily life, people tend to want things to be stable, lasting, and controllable. We want to preserve our health, relationships, careers, and familiar habits. However, reality is that nothing can last forever. When we cling to these seemingly permanent things, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. Impermanence reminds us that attachment to anything fixed is the root cause of pain. In Zen philosophy, impermanence is not something to fear, but a reality to be embraced gently and flexibly. Zen masters teach that instead of resisting change, we should learn to flow with it as a natural current of life. Awareness of impermanence helps us let go of ideas about absolute control and live fully in the present, appreciating every moment rather than worrying about the past or the future. Returning to the earth. This process happens naturally, without effort or force, and it is precisely this constant change that creates the beauty of the life cycle. Practitioners are often guided to observe their breath, sensing each passing moment as an expression of impermanence. Breath comes and goes as a vivid illustration of the continuous change of all phenomena. When we realize even the breath is constantly changing, we also realize that emotions, thoughts, and all mental experiences are the same. This realization helps us no longer be dominated by negative states or thoughts, but observe them objectively and calmly. Moreover, impermanence is also understood as non-self. that there is no fixed, unchanging self. When we deeply understand the continuous change of body and mind, we see that what we call I is only an ever-changing process, not a rigid, permanent entity. This insight forms the foundation for letting go of ego attachments, selfish ambitions, and developing compassion, humility, and deeper wisdom. In the modern world, where everything changes rapidly and people are often caught in anxiety, uncertainty, and the desire for control, the wisdom of impermanence becomes a precious spiritual remedy. It helps us see every change, failure, or loss not as the end of the world, but as an inevitable part of life. Willing to experiment, willing to let go of old habits, and open to new things. In this constant change, we find life's vitality and true meaning. Zen stories about impermanence are not just reminders, but invitations to practicing mindfulness, letting go, and deeply understanding the nature of all things. Through recognizing and living with impermanence, we not only free ourselves from painful attachments, but also develop greater wisdom and compassion, living harmoniously with ourselves, others, and the universe. As you listen and absorb the Zen stories about impermanence in the following parts of this script, this is the foundation for your journey to become an awakened person, a journey of continuous exploration, awareness, and love in every present moment. 2.2. Classic Zen Story. The Falling Leaf and the Lesson of Constant Change. Among the treasured Zen tales known worldwide, there is a simple yet powerful story that has transcended time and culture, but centers on the image of a falling leaf, a simple symbol carrying a profound truth about impermanence, about the endless change of life. The story goes that a young British Zen monk named Thomas was practicing at a small monastery nestled in the English countryside, surrounded by vast green forests and shaded woodland paths. Thomas noticed a yellow leaf gently drifting down from the branches. That leaf was not merely a part of nature changing with the seasons, but seemed to tell a story, a lesson about life and death, about birth and dissolution. Thomas began to deeply reflect on the journey of that leaf. From a fresh green bud in spring, it grew under the sunlight, absorbing clean air. Thomas realized a simple truth passed down by Zen masters for generations. All things in life are in constant flux. Nothing lasts forever. The falling leaf was not an end, but part of an eternal cycle, preparing for renewal and transformation. By watching the leaf, Thomas understood that rather than resisting change, humans need to learn to accept and flow harmoniously with life's current. The falling leaf story is a vivid symbol of the Zen concept of impermanence, helping listeners see the continuous movement of all phenomena and recognize that this endless change creates life's beauty and meaning. Through this story, Thomas learned to let go of worries about the past and future, to cherish the present, and most importantly, not to be bound by temporary things or states. He realized that suffering stems from attachment, while happiness comes from letting go and embracing impermanence. Interestingly, the story of the falling leaf did not stop at mere observation of nature, but became a source of inspiration for Thomas's daily life. In challenges, failures, or unexpected changes, he reminded himself that everything passes, and every experience, good or bad, shapes who he is today. This awareness helped Thomas live a gentler, more peaceful, and deeper life. The falling leaf story has spread widely among meditation practitioners and Zen philosophy enthusiasts worldwide, not only because of its simplicity, but also due to its powerful message about living truthfully and understanding the true nature of life. No matter who you are or where you come from, this story will touch your heart, helping you grasp the inevitability of change and how to live more fully each day. If you have ever felt tired of constant changes in modern life or stuck facing loss and uncertainty, remember the story of that falling leaf. The lesson from the falling leaf is not only for monks or practitioners, but for all of us, living amidst the fast-paced modern world, constantly challenged by uncertainty and change. When we learn to accept impermanence, we not only find inner peace, but also open our hearts to love and empathy more deeply for ourselves and others. At the story's end, Thomas wrote a short poem reflecting his experience as a reminder for himself and those who listen. The falling leaf is not loss, but a giving, giving back to the earth, the wind, the continuing life. This is the spirit of Zen. No clinging, no resistance, but living in change with gratitude and profound understanding. Through this story, we understand that each of us is like a leaf on our own journey, continuously changing, growing, and renewing. And accepting impermanence is the first step to becoming an awakened person, one whose wisdom is as deep and vast as the ocean. 2.3. The Journey of Letting Go, a modern story of facing loss to find inner peace. In the modern world, we often hear stories of loss, sudden changes, and how people confront them. However, the journey of truly letting go to find inner peace is not always easy, and not everyone can go through it fully. The story below is a vivid example of how a woman in New York City, a bustling and stressful place, learned Zen wisdom about impermanence and letting go through her own painful experience. Anna, a 38-year-old American woman working in advertising, lived a busy life filled with projects, deadlines, and complex social relationships. Her life seemed stable, successful, and full of ambition. But one fateful day, everything changed when she lost her beloved father, the emotional rock who had always supported her throughout her life. His sudden death plunged Anna into deep grief, leaving her feeling empty and lost, nearly breaking her. At first, Anna struggled against the pain, clinging to her father's image, to memories, and to his old belongings. She couldn't accept the reality that everything had changed, that her most beloved person was no longer there. Feelings of helplessness and sorrow gradually turned into anger, even resentment toward life for taking away someone she loved so much. After months of wrestling with negative emotions, Anna began seeking external support. She joined a meditation group for people who had experienced loss, where she was introduced to Zen teachings on impermanence, letting go, and mindfulness. At first, everything felt strange and difficult to understand, but through each meditation session and shared story, Anna gradually opened her heart and began practicing. One crucial lesson Anna remembered was the awareness that nothing in life lasts forever, not even pain or loss. She learned to observe her emotions objectively, without reacting hastily or letting herself get swept away by negative thoughts. Whenever she thought of her father, instead of being overwhelmed by pain, she would take a deep breath, wanted to give up, and sink into sorrow. But each time, she recalled the image of the falling leaf told at the meditation center, remembering that change and loss are inevitable parts of life. And only by accepting them could she truly free herself from the past's bindings. Gradually, she became stronger, gentler, and most importantly, found inner peace even as life continued to present challenges. Anna's story clearly demonstrates that Zen wisdom about impermanence and letting go are not distant theoretical concepts, but practical tools that help people overcome their greatest sufferings to find themselves again. Her journey shows that loss is not an end, but a new beginning if we view it with awakened eyes and an open heart. For those going through pain and major life changes. And that is the path Zen wisdom always points toward, the freedom, peace, and deep happiness arising from within. At the end of her journey, Anna shared that learning from Zen not only helped her overcome loss, but also made her grow, love life, and others more deeply. Her story became a source of inspiration for many, especially in today's turbulent and pressured world, where understanding impermanence and letting go have become essential life skills to maintain balance and happiness. Through this modern story, we see that Zen wisdom is not only found in ancient tales, but is alive and powerfully transformative in our lives today. And wherever you are, whatever you are facing, remember that letting go is not losing, but opening a new door to freedom and peace. 2.4. Transformative lesson: practicing acceptance of impermanence in daily life. Modern life, with all its busyness, pressures, and rapid changes, poses great challenges to the human spirit. In this context, Zen wisdom about impermanence is not just a philosophical theory, but a practical and effective tool to help us live more peacefully, happily, and fully in each present moment. Practicing acceptance of impermanence means being fully aware that all things and phenomena are constantly changing, from our bodies, emotions, and thoughts to relationships and life circumstances. This requires continuous mindfulness and an open attitude, so we are not attached to fixed ideas or the illusion of absolute stability. In reality, accepting impermanence is a gentle letting go. We clearly perceive the continuous movement of the mind and body. From this awareness, we no longer perceive these states as fixed parts of ourselves, but as temporary phenomena in flux. Seeing this reduces much attachment and suffering. For example, when you feel anger or sadness, instead of letting these emotions control you or linger in your mind, you can pause, take a deep breath, and observe the emotion objectively. You will notice it coming and going like clouds passing across the sky. This awareness helps you avoid being swept away by negative feelings and creates space for wiser, more compassionate responses. At work, the constant changes in environment, people. Accepting that no one and nothing lasts forever helps us cherish present moments with family and friends. It also teaches us to let go of unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings and to forgive, freeing ourselves from burdens of resentment or pain. The journey of accepting impermanence is not instantaneous, but requires persistent and patient practice. At first, we may feel uncomfortable or even fearful of change, but with steady effort, we gradually experience the lightness and freedom this wisdom brings. Life becomes soft and flexible like water, not rigid or bound by old ideas and fears. Another effective method is practicing letting go by recognizing the thoughts, feelings, or possessions we cling to. We can ask ourselves, do I really need to hold on to this? Does it bring me lasting happiness? Or is it just attachment causing me pain? Such questions awaken us to choose when and how to let go wisely. Cultivating gratitude is also essential in practicing impermanence. When we appreciate even the smallest things in the present, Zen meditation involves observing the body and mind to recognize the continuous change within. While meditating, we focus on each sensation, thought, and mental state like clouds drifting in the sky. This deepens mindfulness and reduces attachment, allowing us to live more fully in the present. Those who practice regularly share that recognizing and living with impermanence makes life lighter, less anxious, and strengthens their ability to face challenges. The wisdom of impermanence not only frees us from suffering, but opens the door to creativity, renewal, and lasting happiness. In summary, practicing acceptance of impermanence daily is a continuous journey of awareness, letting go, and love. It is the path to greater freedom, peace, and appreciation of life's precious moments. The wisdom of the awakened person is the ability to harmonize with the flow of impermanence, not resisting nor being swept away, but moving gently and deeply like a calm ocean. Start with the smallest things, your breath, your emotions, the small changes in daily life, to gradually feel and practice this wisdom. Then you are no longer just a witness to change, but a gentle companion of life, walking the path of awakening with a peaceful heart and profound wisdom. Part 3. Letting Go, Liberation from Attachment. 3.1. Explaining the role of letting go in Zen wisdom. Letting go is one of the core principles and a crucial step on the path of practice in the Zen tradition. In the context of modern life, filled with countless pressures, temptations, and attachments, both material and spiritual, understanding and practicing letting go not only helps people escape suffering, but also opens the door to liberation, leading to clear wisdom and inner freedom. In Zen philosophy, letting go does not mean completely giving up everything or living indifferently toward life. In fact, letting go is a deep awareness and mindfulness of the true nature of the things we cling to, gradually and gently releasing those attachments with intelligence and kindness. Letting go is a process of freeing oneself from mental entanglements, worries, stubbornness, and ignorance, the root causes of suffering, without allowing it to dominate or control the mind. It is liberation from within, not from without. In everyday life, we can easily see attachments to material things such as money, fame, and status, or to emotions like anger, jealousy, fear, as well as rigid viewpoints and prejudices. All these create invisible chains that trap us in a cycle of suffering. When we let go, we peel away the layers of masks and illusions that veil the original nature of the mind. It is a return to a natural, pure, unburdened state. Letting go also expresses both compassion and wisdom. Compassion, because when we no longer cling, we open our hearts to accept ourselves and others with tolerance and non-judgment. Wisdom. In every situation, we can practice letting go of thoughts, emotions, or conditions that cause suffering, gradually freeing the soul from invisible chains. We can liken letting go to removing heavy backpacks while hiking. If we carry the burdens of the past, greed, anger, or illusions, we will become weary and find it difficult to continue the journey of life. But when we learn to set those burdens down, we feel lighter, more relaxed, and see the path more clearly. The role of letting go in Zen wisdom also opens space for creativity and spiritual growth. When we are no longer bound, the mind can become calm to receive deep insights, understanding, and authentic experience of life. This is the foundational step enabling practitioners to approach enlightenment. Furthermore, letting go leads to lasting peace because when the mind is no longer bound by delusions and attachments, it naturally becomes serene and undisturbed by external fluctuations. On the Zen journey, letting go is expressed through various methods such as meditation, mindfulness, observing and recognizing mental states, and especially through traditional and modern Zen stories that help us easily visualize and deeply internalize its profound meaning. In summary, letting go in Zen wisdom is not only the solution to life's sufferings, but also the gateway to a new world, the world of freedom, peace, and clear wisdom. It is the journey back to oneself, unwrapping each layer of attachment to live a complete, peaceful, and happy life. Letting go is not losing but gaining. It is not abandoning but liberating. This is the wisdom of the awakened. 3.2. Short Zen Story. The Zen Master and the Broken Cup. A lesson on letting go of pain. In a small seaside village in southern England, there lived a Zen master named Thomas, renowned not only for his profound wisdom, but also for his ability to convey deep life lessons through simple yet meaningful stories. One evening, during a meditation session under the golden sunset, Thomas shared with his disciples the story of a broken ceramic cup, a simple tale containing infinite wisdom about letting go and liberation from attachment. The cup was a familiar item in the small temple where Thomas and his disciples lived. It was neither luxurious nor beautiful, but because it had accompanied the master through many years. If one only mourns it and tries to restore it to its original state, that is attachment, a mental cage that traps the soul in the past and fixed notions. Thomas then spoke of a person who had lived with anger, resentment, and pain from life's losses. That person was like the broken cup, deeply hurt and seemingly beyond repair. But instead of clinging to the shattered pieces, they learned to let go and accept loss as an inevitable part of life. Through this, their mind was rebuilt, not as the original intact cup, but as a new one, simpler, more humble, and profound, appreciating every present moment without being trapped by the past. Through this story, Thomas emphasized that letting go is not loss but transformation, a rebirth of the soul. When we release attachments, pain, and disappointments, we are truly free and open to new things. Just like the Japanese art of kintsugi, using gold to mend broken pottery, making the cup not only restored but more beautiful and valuable through the seams. Our soul can also become stronger and more beautiful by accepting and honoring past painful experiences. The story ends with a reminder. Learn to let go as Master Thomas teaches, not to forget memories or pain, but to face them with an open heart, a peaceful mind, and clear wisdom. Letting go is the path to finding freedom, serenity, and true happiness amid life's changes. The Zen Master and the Broken Cup is not just a traditional Zen tale, but carries distinct traits of modern Western culture, helping viewers from various backgrounds easily relate and empathize. The imagery of the ceramic cup, the small seaside village, and the calm, humble yet profound Zen master vividly symbolizes the journey of letting go and awakening each person undertakes in this world. With this story, viewers can feel the gentle depth of Zen wisdom and realize that within every hardship, loss, or pain lies an opportunity to learn to let go and continue on the path to inner freedom. This valuable lesson is not only for practitioners, but for anyone seeking peace in today's turbulent modern life. 3.3. Modern Story. Letting go of the pressure to succeed, a young man's journey to true happiness in New York. Jake is a young man living in New York City, where the fast-paced life, fierce competition, and pressure to succeed are nearly unavoidable parts of daily existence. From a young age, Jake was guided by his family and society to become successful, attend a prestigious university, land a high-paying job, and quickly climb the career ladder. However, once he entered the real world, he soon felt overwhelmed, exhausted, and lost. Jake worked at a major financial firm where success was measured by profits and social status. He spent most of his time working, neglecting his personal interests and close relationships. Prolonged stress, insomnia, and relentless pressure gradually led him to mental burnout. Despite many external achievements, inside Jake felt empty and lonely. By chance, Jake was invited by a friend to attend a mindfulness meditation course at a Japanese cultural center in the heart of Manhattan. Initially, he came with curiosity but without much expectation. Yet, the meditation sessions, along with stories about Zen wisdom and letting go, gradually opened a new door in his heart. Jake began to realize that it was his attachment to success, reputation, and control that had distanced him from his true self and genuine joy in life. He learned to observe his thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them, to focus on the present moment, and accept all states without judgment. Through regular meditation practice, he felt his mind lighten, pressures ease, and his perspective on life deeply transform. One memorable experience for Jake was during an early morning meditation session when the soft sunlight filtered through the window. He suddenly realized he didn't have to carry the invisible burdens he had been holding, his own and others' expectations, endless ambitions. That moment felt like liberation, allowing him to let go and no longer be bound by rigid societal standards. Jake's journey was neither easy nor instantaneous. There were moments of doubt, being pulled back by old habits and worries about the future. But persistent mindfulness and letting go gradually brought lasting change. He started spending more time on things he loved, walking in Central Park, playing guitar, and enjoying quality moments with family and friends. Jake's story is a vivid testament to the power of Zen wisdom to free people from the invisible chains of modern society. By learning to let go of attachments, Jake's journey of letting go is also an invitation for all of us caught in the relentless whirl of modern life to pause, look inward, helping modern people face and overcome pressures and challenges to live more fully with themselves and the world around them. 3.4. Transformation Lesson. Techniques for letting go of negative emotions and expectations. In modern life, we inevitably encounter negative emotions such as anger, fear, sadness, or disappointment. These emotions arise from attachments to outcomes, people, or circumstances that do not meet our desires. Expectations about others, ourselves, or the future often bind our minds, creating pressure and prolonged suffering. Therefore, learning how to let go of negative emotions and expectations is an essential skill to maintain peace and clear wisdom in daily life. Letting go here does not mean denying emotions or avoiding reality, but fully recognizing and accepting those emotions without being dominated by them or losing inner balance. One important technique for letting go is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us observe negative emotions and expectations like clouds passing through the sky of the mind, not clinging to them, but allowing them to come and go naturally. When we do not react instinctively or get swept away by those feelings, and observe the feeling with curiosity and compassion for ourselves, we can name the emotions such as anger, anxiety, or sadness and identify it objectively. This process helps reduce identification with the emotion, making it less likely to become a lasting mental burden. The next technique is letting go of expectations, one of the greatest sources of suffering. Expectations often build on assumptions about how things should happen according to our wishes or how others ought to behave. When reality fails to meet these expectations, we easily fall into disappointment, anger, or a sense of betrayal. Learning to let go of expectations requires a deep understanding of impermanence and no self, that nothing is fixed, and no self or other exists in a completely unchanging way on which to base expectations. Instead of holding tightly to expectations, we can shift our perspective with acceptance and compassion. For example, when working with others, rather than expecting them to always be right according to our views, we accept that they have limitations and faults like ourselves. When facing undesirable situations, we practice embracing them as lessons and opportunities for growth instead of failures. To support the letting go process, specialized meditation methods are applied, such as emotion observation meditation, vipassana, loving-kindness meditation, metta, and letting go meditation. In emotion observation meditation, we focus on recognizing each feeling, noticing its coming and going without judgment or attachment. Loving-kindness meditation nurtures love and forgiveness for ourselves and others, reducing anger and resentment. Letting go meditation directly guides the practice of releasing attachments, opening the heart to freedom. Also, keeping an emotion and expectation journal is an effective tool to better recognize and manage internal states. Writing down feelings and unrealistic expectations helps us see our mental bindings clearly and facilitates the letting go process. Furthermore, patience and persistence are essential. Letting go is not a one-time act, but an ongoing journey. Some days it is easier to identify and release, while other times emotions pull us back. The key is not to judge ourselves harshly when we stumble, but to persist in returning to practice and awareness. Another vital lesson from Zen wisdom is living in the present moment. When we fully live in the now, we are less caught up in negative emotions stemming from the past or expectations about the future. The present is the only point we truly can control and experience. The mind has space to develop peace and wisdom. Techniques for letting go of negative emotions and expectations not only bring calm, but also improve social relationships. When not dominated by disappointment and anger, it becomes easier to communicate, empathize, and understand others, building deeper and more sustainable connections. Ultimately, letting go is a path to true freedom, opening the door to a meaningful, peaceful, and fulfilling life. When mastered, this technique makes Zen wisdom a guiding light on the spiritual journey, helping us overcome life's challenges with courage and clarity. In summary, letting go of negative emotions and expectations is a foundational step to liberate the mind from invisible bonds, allowing us to live more peacefully, fully, and with deeper wisdom in every present moment. This is one of the essential practices anyone can apply to enhance life quality and move closer to genuine awakening. Here's the English translation of your hook, keeping the tone and depth aligned with the original. In today's fast-paced and stressful world, we often find ourselves confused, exhausted, and sometimes lost. Amid countless worries, have you ever wondered, is there a path to truly understand yourself, to see clearly the true nature of life, and to find genuine peace? The wisdom of the awakened, Zen wisdom, is not something distant reserved for masters or monks on mountain peaks.